What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So this video is actually, I've been dragging on about it. I really don't want to do it, but it is the final thing we have to do to rebuild my Legacy GT, which is right there. I have indeed been driving the GT now as a daily again, and I have missed it. It's been a great time, but the last thing to do, which I did not fix, it's like sort of fixed but not fixed, is the AC. So inside this box, I actually have everything I need to fix the AC. It's not my first rodeo, let's just say that. So in this box is pretty much what you need to pull a vacuum on the AC. It's as simple as connecting to the high and low end, and then this device you hook up to your air compressor and it pulls a vacuum. And then you just kind of gotta watch it and see if it holds pressure. As you can see, I have done this before. I have some remaining refrigerant in here. And I guess it's just a spare I had. Now, if you're wondering where to get this kit, honestly, I don't remember. I've probably had this kit now for 5, 6, maybe 7, no, probably 5. I probably had this kit now for 5 years. I'll see if I can just provide something down below that you guys can just kind of order from. I don't even remember where I got it. I don't know if it was eBay or if it was Amazon, but it's pretty straightforward. It's really not that too difficult to do. Now, I could probably get this done really quickly, but because I have the parts car here, I actually pulled out already the hard line that goes to the front of the AC condenser. I just have it chilling up there for the time being. And let me show you why I've decided to give myself all this extra work. I've also given up trying to keep this car clean as long as it sits out here. And I have this tree, it's just never ending, getting full of dirt and debris from the tree and bird crap. If you didn't follow up on the rebuild, I actually did rebuild this front end and it looks as good as new in my honest opinion. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. The hardline in question is actually this one down here, right there. And as you can see, there's a kink right there. That being said, it's probably fine. I can probably run it and there'd be no issues. However, since I have the part, I would like to replace it and get everything done and correct and, you know, up to standard, I guess you could say. Like, I probably could just pull a vacuum and it would probably hold and be okay, but just because I can see it, it bothers me. And if I don't do this now, I'm never gonna do it. It takes me about an hour to drive home and I don't wanna be in the heat sweating my balls off after having a hot day. So to tackle this, what's gonna have to happen is the front bumper is gonna have to come off because I'm gonna have to access the connection to the AC condenser in the front. The battery's also gonna have to come off. I'm probably gonna have to disconnect the fuel lines and any connections here just so I can get the hard line out. Top of my intercooler is gonna have to come off. Before I actually do pull the battery and disconnect the fuel lines, I'm actually gonna pull the 15 amp fuse. So this 15 amp fuse right here, that's your fuel pump fuse. If you disconnect that, the fuel pump will no longer put fuel to the engine. Start a couple times, it'll burn up whatever's remaining, so when I disconnect these lines, I shouldn't have any issue. I almost forgot, something else you're likely gonna need is a bunch of different O-rings. I bought this O-ring kit back when I did this on my Impreza, and I'm pretty sure they're AC specific. I could be wrong on that, but I remember reading up that the green ones were AC specific. Correct me if I'm wrong, please do. And the reason for that is if you've disconnected any of your lines, a lot of my lines got disconnected, which is why I gotta remove the bumper anyways. They're just so dry rotted that you're gonna wanna put fresh stuff anyways because it's likely not gonna hold a seal when you pull a vacuum. Let's get to it, let's start tearing it down. I'm really not looking forward to this. This is not something I've been excited for, but I'm excited for AC. AC's sick. So let's get this done. This is actually going by a lot smoother and faster than I actually planned. I was ready to spend like 2 hours on this and hate my life. You might have not been able to really see exactly what was going on, but essentially anything that was in the way of the hardline, I've gone ahead and removed it. So if you look, everything's pretty loose now. Anything that's potentially in the way, I've gone ahead and disconnect, like the fuel lines. So it's a smoother and easier way of getting it out. So let's see if I can get this out in one piece. I could easily just cut it up and take it out, but the idea is if I could take it out in one piece now, I should be able to put it back in one piece. Oh, a little difficult, but it came out. Here it's kinked, here it's not. It probably would have been all right, but I would just rather be safe than sorry and have the car fixed properly. So I'm happy I'm doing this either way. One thing I'm gonna do now is swap out those O-rings with whatever I got, just because they can get dry rotted. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we can throw this guy back in. I was debating on swapping out this line as well. I'm kind of on the fence about it. If I am gonna do it, I would be doing it now. I don't know. O-rings are swapped. I'm hoping they do not leak. I'm also gonna do this side as well, because might as well, I'm in there. This is the low side. Those are swapped as well. Honestly, the only reason why I'm debating on swapping this is because here it's just a little chewed up. It's really not even a big deal, but either way I gotta swap that O-ring, so I figured I'm pretty much in here, might as well do it. Exciting news, and what that is the system should be sealed. All the O-rings except for one has been replaced, and it's the one O-ring that's on the higher side of the AC condenser. It is located in here. Now I don't think I actually removed that connection, so in theory it should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and set the car up now to actually pull a vacuum using this right here. I forget what it's called. It's, I don't know, vacuum AC sucker. We're gonna call it that. I'm not gonna lie, I forget how to use this. It's been a few years and haven't really touched it since. Obviously you need your refrigerant, 134A or 134, I don't remember. We'll see. Let's hook this up. Basically there's a low side and a high side. Low I believe is blue, high I think is red. And it should be pretty easy to do this. You are supposed to be wearing safety glasses when doing this, which I definitely am when I start pulling vacuum on this, because I don't want to get hit in the face with this. But yeah, to hook these up, it's super simple. So I obviously like to hang it up here. I want both of these closed. They should be closed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're closed. And it's cool. You'll see liquid coming through here when we do the refrigerant. Okay. So every car has a high side and a low side, and you should be able to just unscrew it, and that should just pop on like so. And let's go to the low side. Same thing, unscrew it. I just lost my earbud. That should pop on. you go. Then the yellow end just kind of threads into there. And now this, we hook up to the air compressor. Let's go ahead, hook it up, and then we pull a vacuum by opening the valves. And yeah, now I just got to remember what we got to do. Okay, let me try to remember. We're going to hook this up to the air compressor. I have the output set to 90 psi. Might give it a little bit more just so we get a good suck. Then we're going to open these valves on both sides, and then on this side I've already tested this, so it's already moved a bit, but it's going to go past 20 inches and probably going to go a little further. We're going to continue running it for about 10 minutes. Once it's ran for 10 minutes, I'm going to close the valves and then see if it just holds the pressure for 10 minutes or longer. It says 5 minutes here. I mean, probably by 5 minutes you would know. I'll probably wait for a little longer just to confirm we do have a seal. And then we can look at adding the Freon. But I will go ahead and start pulling the vacuum on this thing and just show you guys that it is indeed pulling a vacuum and then holding the suck. It's been on 30 for about, I don't know, an hour or so, and I ended up pulling a vacuum for about 45 minutes, and I've let it sit even longer. It's sealed. We're good. It's sealed. So what's going on now is we got to fill it with refrigerant. So this is stuff I picked up a while ago. I got this from eBay. I don't remember how much I paid, but if I could find some link below. Otherwise, you can probably get some of the other stuff that you'd get from like Canadian Tire. This is a 15-ounce can. Obviously, you have to consider the weight of the can. And our car takes 13 to 15 ounces. So if I get between 13 and 15 off of this, we'll be good. What I'm gonna do quickly is get the top mount intercooler back on, the battery, so we can start this thing. Because we have to start the car, start the AC, so we can pull a vacuum and have the compressor kick on. And we'll be golden. Let's get that on quick. So with the car back together, the last thing to do is to screw on this adapter onto there. Careful not to punch it, because there is a punch that will break the seal. And when you put these on, you just got to do hand tight. You don't got to wrench these things on. There's this O-ring seal in there that will do the work for you. Then this goes to the yellow part, just like so. Make sure it's not going to hit any belts or anything, or you're supposed to keep it somewhere cold, actually. So let's just keep it up here for now. This is free. It's not going to hit anything. Also, if you're putting any new parts in here, you would likely have to oil the system because, you know, you need to lubricate everything. Being that everything I'm putting in is used, I'm not going to bother with the oil. It's probably good to do it, but oh well. Now the stressful part, starting the car. So with it running, we're going to turn on the AC. So we're going to have it recirculating and we're going to have it low. Obviously I have the AC on. So you're definitely going to want to wear eye protection for this next part and hand protection. We're going to slowly add in the refrigerant until the compressor kicks on, and then the compressor will do the rest of the job. You would also normally purge the yellow line, but I don't have a purge, so if I get some air in it, I get some air. Let's go ahead and add some refrigerant. You're also going to want to add it into the low side, not the high side, so remember that. So you'll actually see a refrigerant coming out of here. Then we'll open this very slowly. So I'm going to let this just continue, slowly taking it until I think I've taken enough of the refrigerant out, and I'll weigh it and see how much I got left. So I'll be back when this is done. This was a nightmare. Okay, so there's stuff in it. There's Freon in it. It was indeed cool. I did test it, but what happened was this fitting right here, where it like right there, where my thumb is, this fitting, it was leaking. And I don't know how much Freon got in. I don't know how much air got in. All I know is it didn't work out quite right, but it's cold. So that being said, this is technically my beater. So I think I'm just gonna ride it out. I know, you know, you don't want to have air in the system, but I'm sure like some gets in it sometimes, but there's probably more in there now than there should be. So that being said, I'm gonna ride it out. It is cold. There's cold air. Just then I felt it. It's nice. It's gonna be really nice this week coming up. It's gonna get hit like 26. But if anything does die, like let's say some of the parts start just rusting out, it's my beater, guys. I can get parts for this car pretty easily, you know, and then at that point, maybe I'll go ahead and I'll just bring it to a shop, because I don't want to have to set all this up and find out that a fitting is not sealing up and I end up just losing a bunch of the stuff and getting air in the system. So I'm gonna call that a video. Do this at your own risk. I'm definitely not a professional. Look up a lot of stuff before you go ahead and decide to do this. I kind of did, kind of didn't. You can probably tell by the video, but this is not really a how-to video. This is just me doing it and showing you guys you can do it at home. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And take it easy. See you in the next one.